Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 27 based on novel. So let's start. Commander Militia ordered, the news that Lord Luo is guarding this place must be kept secret by the three of you. Yes. General Jin Hu and the two commanders of the Huyang Guard responded respectfully. They were assigned here and were all very trusted. Brother Luo, I have already arranged accommodation for you in this Legion camp. Commander Militia led the way, walked out of the building and came to an elegant cave not far away. After all, Huyang Legion has more than 20 million true gods, so the Legion camp is naturally very large. Ordinary soldiers only knew that this was the Legion camp and were not aware of its true importance. Not bad. Luo Feng looked at the cave in front of him. It was rare to arrange such a cave in a military camp covering hundreds of millions of kilometers. The living environment of the soldiers was much worse. When they were on duty, they were in the Legion's mechanical secret treasure. Brother Luo, just tell me if you need anything. Militia said, but be sure not to leave the camp. After all, the forces of the Food Nation may attack at any time. Don't worry, I will definitely do what I promised. Luo Feng nodded. Then we'll take our leave first. Militia said with a smile, and left with Mo Lemon. Luo Feng looked at the cave, which was only about 10,000 kilometers long and wide. The cave was not big, but quite exquisite. From today, the three of us will live here. Yes, Master. Morosa and Moyu Qingyang both responded. 5 days later, Mo Lemon brought the Hei's venom. Lord Luo, this Black Sea venom is a highly toxic substance produced by a chaos-level beast. If you take it yourself, be careful and only take 1 drop at a time. Mo Lemon handed a pot of Black Sea venom to Luo Feng and said solemnly, if you take too much, you may die. Now the City Lord's mansion is hiring Lord Luo. If Lord Luo takes the Hei's venom and poisons himself to death, it will be a joke. Don't worry. Luo Feng inherited 2 bloodlines and knew very well how to use Hei's venom. According to his estimation, the soul nurtured by his perfect divine body was already powerful, and his mind and will were far beyond that of a normal eternal true god. He might not feel anything if he took less of Hei's venom. Since then, Luo Feng has lived in seclusion in the Golden Tiger Legion camp. The Golden Tiger Corps and the 2 Huyang guards were still rotating normally, and the ordinary members had no idea of the importance of this place. Only the generals and deputy generals of the corps, and the commander and deputy commander of the Huyang guards knew the secret. Call. Gao Wushui drove the flying boat back to the family cave. While he was resting, the deputy commander was naturally on duty. Patriarch. Patriarch. Inside the Gao Wu family's cave, a large number of family members saw Gao Wushui and they were all extremely respectful. Gao Wushui is the only eternal true god in the family now. He is also ruthless and has wiped out almost all the previous high-level members of the family. His deterrent power in the family can be imagined. Who in the entire clan is not afraid of him? Gao Wushui went to an underground prison within the clan with a cold face. The guards of the underground prison were extremely respectful. Go out first. Gao Wushui ordered. The watchers withdrew. Commander Gao Wu, you actually condescended to come and see me. The man in chains laughed in the prison. You killed the clan leader and many clan elders, why didn't you kill me too? Do you still care about the so-called father-son relationship? I've been imprisoned until now, but you still haven't figured it out. I'm really disappointed. Gao Wushui said coldly. Why are you disappointed? You want me, your father, to kneel down and beg you? The man's face was grim. You are the traitor who betrayed the family. You have 109 children. Gao Wushui said calmly, and I am just the offspring of your passionate love affair with the maid. I have never seen you since I was born. Later, I left my family to venture out on my own, and later joined the Huyang army. It was my master who took a fancy to me and accepted me as his apprentice. After my master accepted me as his apprentice, you, the so-called father, met me for the first time. That was the first time we met. Gao Wushui sneered. It was then that you knew about the injustices I had suffered in the clan, and that my mother, who was a maid, died silently in the clan. It was only when I became a disciple of Commander Mo Lixiao that you knew how to repent and how sorry you were to my mother. Where were you when I was young? Where were you when my mother died? Are you qualified to talk about the relationship between father and son? I am your father after all. The man's face was grim. Without me, there would be no you. My growth was all the result of Master's painstaking efforts. What you have given is just a momentary passion. Gao Wushui said, when I become the eternal true God, the family will know how to please me. You have become the eternal true God, so the clan has treated you well, right? The man asked angrily. The clan leader always respects you when he meets you, right? But what did you do? Respect me? Gao Wushui shook his head. At first he was just pretending, but at the banquet, he actually asked me to be a spy for the Food Kingdom. I never thought that this clan leader, an ordinary eternal true God, would actually collude with the Food Kingdom. You are slandering me, the man retorted. At this time, I don't bother to slander you. Gao Wushui said, if I am the insider, once I am exposed, I will die without a burial place. Besides, I would rather die than betray my master. Since they asked me to be their accomplice and don't care if I live or die, then those who colluded with the Shi Kingdom must die. Gao Wushui said, and you, Gao Wukui, you are able to survive, firstly because you didn't know about it, and secondly because you are my father, so you are qualified to live. If you don't admit your mistake, you will stay in this jail forever. Gao Wushui sneered. No matter which side your family supports, you should not betray it, Gao Wukui said. Betraying the family? Gao Wushui sneered. Now, I am the clan leader. I am the only eternal true God of the clan. As long as I am alive, the clan can survive. If I die, the clan will immediately fall apart and be plundered by all forces. You keep saying that you are loyal to the clan, then you should be loyal to me. I'm your father. Gao Wukui couldn't stand his son's attitude. In this world, my mother gave birth to me, and my master spent a lot of effort to cultivate me. And you, what are you? Gao Wushui turned and left. In Huyang City, there is a secret underground hall in an ordinary cave. Shueyun, Yu Qianhu, and Yu Qianni gathered here. We tried every possible way to collect information about the 3 forbidden areas, Shueyun said, but the city lord's mansion has strictly blocked the news. Those guarding the 3 forbidden areas are their core members, and it is difficult to bribe them. Gao Wu Wei of the Gao Wu family is easy to bribe, but he did a terrible job. Not only did he fail to convince Gao Wushui, he also lost his own life. Yu Qianhu shook his head. If a piece of trash dies, it's dead. Yu Qianni said, Lord Blood Cloud, we have been collecting information for such a long time. When will we take action? After preparing for so long, it's time to take action. Xu Weiyun said. Yu Qianhu and Yu Qianni's eyes lit up. How to act? Yu Qianhu asked. Our target is the 3 forbidden areas. Xu Weiyun said, only Mo Lixiao is in the city lord's mansion. They may have hidden power. But if the 3 of us join forces, we are not afraid of the city lord's mansion at all. As long as we can kill our way into a forbidden area and destroy it, the power of the entire Huyang City formation will drop sharply. The Huyang City formation has many key nodes. The destruction of ordinary nodes will have little impact on the formation. But the 3 forbidden areas are the core. I will tell you the detailed action plan on the day of the action. Xu Weiyun said. Okay, we'll listen to Brother Xu Weiyun. Yu Qianhu, Yu Qianni, and the others were all very confident. Because Yu Qianhu awakened his special bloodline, his divine body can be said to be the pinnacle of the bloodline cultivation path in the eternal true God. Xu Weiyun is knowledgeable and believes that Yu Qianhu's divine body is probably no less than the infinite divine body. Of course, the infinite divine body has great potential and can play a great role in the Chaos Realm and the Divine King level. However, the bloodline cultivation path has reached its peak after breaking through to the Chaos Lord, and its potential is much worse. But this does not hinder Yu Qianhu's super strong strength at the moment. Yu Qianhui, as one of the 5 gods of Yu Qian, is also a strong man at the same level as Mo Lixiao. The 3 powerful men joined forces, so they were naturally full of confidence. Inside the huge camp of the Golden Tiger Legion, in an elegant cave, Luo Feng was carrying a wine jug. Gulp. After taking 2 sips of wine, he immediately felt the poison seeping into his soul, making his mind and will shaky. Luo Feng was also practicing the Great Destruction Refining Heart technique, trying to erase his own will again and again. The Duan Donghe lineage has cultivated successive generations of descendants, and they have a way to mix hazy venom to make it more effective. Luo Feng thought that using hazy venom as the raw material, supplemented with some ingredients, and then blended into fruit wine, it can be mixed into a unique tasting wine. It will be more effective if used to cultivate spiritual will. My soul is too strong, and my will is even stronger. Relying purely on venom would consume too much energy. Luo Feng thought, the effect will be best if the black sea fruit wine is combined with the Great Destruction Refining Heart technique, and it can also save black sea venom. For a normal practitioner, this kind of training would be unbearably painful. But Luo Feng's will had been tempered too much, especially the pain of the Star Tower recognizing him as its master, which was far more painful than this. After all, normal methods of sharpening cannot reach the level of pain required for the Star Tower to recognize its master. So Luo Feng was very calm. Instead, he felt that this little pain was a bit of fun in his practice. Master, we have to stay here for a century? Morosa came over, rather unwillingly. I am a servant, insignificant, can I go out for a walk? Morosa used to enjoy himself in the city, but now he has to stay in the military camp for a long time, and he can't help it. Look at you. Luo Feng shook his head, you don't even have this much endurance. Your willpower is just average. I'm just enjoying myself now. What does it have to do with my spiritual will? Morosa retorted. I, as the master, am guarding here, and you, as the servant, want to go out and enjoy yourself? Luo Feng looked at him, do you think you are going a little too far? Morosa bowed his head. Wait until the Food Nation's forces attack, or wait for a century. Luo Feng said. Suddenly, without any warning, an extremely terrifying coldness descended, instantly covering the entire camp of the Golden Tiger Army. In the dark night, the huge camp with an area of hundreds of millions of kilometers was completely covered by frost. You're here so soon? Luo Feng looked up in surprise. Finally here. Morosa was overjoyed. You protect Qingyang well. Luo Feng gave an order, and walked out of the cave with the wine jug in one hand. Don't worry, master. Morosa stood beside Mo Yu Qingyang and looked up at the frost covering the sky and the earth. The cave formation started to work naturally, protecting Morosa and Mo Yu Qingyang. Mo Yu Qingyang was a little nervous. Lord Luosa, how about I hide in the flying boat? At the critical moment, I will put you into the flying boat's secret treasure. As for now, just watch the battle with peace of mind. Morosa smiled and looked into the distance. The forces of the Food Nation are coming. This battle will be very exciting. Mo Yu Qingyang looked at Morosa beside him, feeling a little uneasy. Lord Morosa was only a void true god. If the power of the Food Nation was affected, they would both be reduced to ashes. Since the master has made such arrangements, he must trust Lord Luosa. Mo Yu Qingyang had no choice but to watch the battle nervously, silently hoping not to be affected. At this moment, Luo Feng only took a few steps to reach the nearby core building. Deep underground in this building is the entrance to the forbidden area. I just need to guard the entrance, and no one can get in. Luo Feng stood at the entrance of the building, watching billions of snow-white silk threads descending in the dark night. Countless snow-white silk threads intertwined like a sky net, instantly binding the 3 giant mechanical secret treasures that soared into the sky. The Golden Tiger Army was the largest in size, transforming into a strange beast called Golden Tiger. When it was covered by the snow-white skynet, it also wanted to tear the skynet apart. The mechanical secret treasures controlled by the 2 Huyang guards are the 3-sword sky-splitting beast and the blade-winged devouring insect. Although they are less powerful, they are equally brave. Bound by this snowy white net, the three giant mechanical treasures were obviously greatly reduced in strength. What a great skynet! Luo Feng took a sip of wine while standing at the entrance of the hall. He felt more and more excited. This skynet binding technique is enough to defeat the Blood Python president. The expert who performed this technique should be almost the same as Mo Lixiao. At this moment, under the incomparably huge snow-white net, a figure condensed and emerged. It was the woman with an icy body. Her whole body was frozen in ice, and her eyes were even colder. The Golden Tiger Army and the two Huyang guards are qualified to stop me. Yu Qian's voice resounded everywhere. Go ahead. Kill. Destroy this place. Accompanied by rumbling thunder, the figures rushed into the camp. Presumptuous. The giant golden tiger bound and entangled by the skynet in the sky was still terrifying. With a roar, it immediately aroused the power of the entire Huyang city's formation, and mysterious formations appeared above the camp. Luo Feng looked up and saw layers of formations emerging in the sky. Some of these formations were flashing golden light, some were flowing with black energy, and some were glowing purple light. The many formations worked together perfectly, like a whirlpool in the abyss. This huge abyss vortex formation enveloped the entire camp, forcing the originally powerful skynet to shrink. The Huyang city formation is indeed difficult to deal with. Under the suppression of the formation, my strength will be reduced by 30%. The other eternal true gods will suffer even greater losses. Yu Qian immediately felt the terrifying power of this formation. With the help of the formation, the power of the giant golden tiger, the three-sword sky-splitting beast, and the knife-winged devouring insect increased significantly, and they killed towards Yu Qian in mid-air. They are so powerful because of the Legion-type mechanical secret treasure, but their moves are very crude. Yu Qian was quite disdainful when she saw this. She stretched out her hands and giant ice blades condensed in the air. Kill. It took her a long time to hone her swordsmanship. 9 giant icy blades tore through the sky and attacked the giant golden tiger, the three-sword sky-splitting beast and the knife-winged devouring insect. These ice blades are extremely powerful and their moves are extremely mysterious. She is Yu Qian, one of the 5 Yu Qian gods of the Yu Qian clan. General Jin Ho transmitted a message to the 2 commanders of the Huyang guards. She has already mastered the Chaos Realm sword moves, and even used the mechanical flow secret treasure to condense the ice body. We can't defeat her even if we join forces, so we can only think of ways to protect ourselves. The protection of the forbidden area can only be relied on by Lord Luohe. Yu Qian? The 2 Huyang guard commanders were also under great pressure. Jiujiang Handantu of Yu State was adjacent to Liuyin Handantu of Shi State. Liuyin Chaos Province is the fief of Liuyin Hu. There are only a dozen famous eternal true gods under Liuyin Hu, and the 5 gods of Yu Qian are among them. Each of them is not easy to mess with, and their own strength is enough to overwhelm several legions. In the core of Huyang City, the City Lord's Mansion. The Lord of Huyang City, Mo Lixiao, the white-haired old man, and the one-horned man General Yong, the 4 incarnations of divine power are all here, watching the scenes of the entire city under surveillance. Several ordinary residential areas in the city have been attacked. City Lord Huyang looked at the surveillance scene, and saw that one by one, the eternal true gods who were hiding themselves were wantonly rushing into ordinary residential areas and slaughtering people at will. Those ordinary residential areas are all inhabited by true gods, and they all live there for free. The living area of each true god is generally no more than 1 kilometer long and wide. In just a length and width of tens of thousands of kilometers, there are more than 100 million people living there, which shows how high the living density is. Although these ordinary residential areas were covered by formations, they were no match for these top eternal true gods. The formations were quickly breached, and the true gods living inside were unable to resist at all and were instantly reduced to ashes. Boom tilde 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 tilde. The wanton destruction in the city made Lord Huyang and his men look unhappy. We have already dispatched the Huyang guards. Mo Lixiao said, they are deliberately causing damage in the city, forcing us to dispatch the Huyang guards and also dispersing our forces. The Shukwa really has no bottom line. The one-horned man said coldly, in order to achieve their goal, they don't care about slaughtering the people in the city. We must protect the people in the city. Lord Huyang said, the population density in the ordinary residential area is too high. Such a large-scale massacre will cause panic in the city. When the Marquis finds out, he will punish us severely. Although it was abominable that Maiwuchi massacred hundreds of millions of people, the time when he plundered the most was when an ordinary city, Fangzhou City, was breached by a group of strange beasts and the people in the city were about to flee in all directions, and he plundered hundreds of millions of people in one fell swoop. Although he also committed evil in Huyang City, he was much more careful and only plundered in small quantities each time. He even needed the help of the Huyang Guard commander Qian Yuchong, just to do it cleanly and not cause panic. If the forces of the Food Kingdom carry out massacres on a large scale like this, and if too many people are killed, it will cause panic among the people in the city, and many will flee the city and not want to live there anymore, which will affect the collection of residence fees. Lord Zhejiang and the God Kings would not allow such things to happen. All three forbidden areas have been attacked. The force sent by the Food Nation this time is indeed very strong. In addition to Xu Yun, there are also Yu Qianhu and Yu Qianhe. Huyang City Lord looked at the three people beside him. I will guard the City Lord's mansion, and the forbidden areas will be handed over to you. The City Lord's mansion is the most important. The one-horned man said calmly, you don't need to worry about the three forbidden areas. Luo Feng was holding a wine jug and guarding in front of the forbidden building, leisurely watching the fight between the three-headed mechanical secret treasure and the masters of the Food Kingdom in the sky. However, the explosion of the formation of Huyang City was too powerful. Among the 5 eternal true gods attacking from the Food Kingdom, only Yu Qianhe and an eternal true god who controlled thunder wanted to attack the forbidden area, while the other 3 eternal true gods of the Food Kingdom retreated violently and even fled to some ordinary residential areas next to the military camp. They were about to tear apart the formation covering the residential areas in an instant. He deserves to die. Luo Feng's face turned cold, and the wine jug in his hand disappeared. At this moment, the 3 eternal true gods who had escaped from the camp were acting separately and were quite far away from Luo Feng. Luo Feng, who was standing at the entrance of the hall, was suddenly covered with golden armor, and pairs of golden wings bloomed behind him. At the same time, driven by his perfect divine power, he had already stirred up the chaos with the help of the might of the Wu-killing wings. The Chaos Realm move controlled chaos that killed Wu Yue. At this moment, Luo Feng did not save the perfect divine power at all, and converted and consumed it wantonly, making the range of chaos control extremely wide. The power of chaos descended within billions of kilometers around him, and a large amount of matter and energy were decomposing and returning to the power of chaos. Yu Qianhe, who was originally besieging the 3 giant mechanical treasures alone, changed her expression slightly. She realized that the power of heaven and earth around her was returning to chaos. The dense chaotic airflow is extremely heavy. What a powerful chaos realm. Not good. Yu Qianhe realized that something was wrong. Her icy body was naturally not afraid of this restraint, but her subordinates would be in trouble in the face of such power. The 3 eternal true gods who fled to the ordinary residential area were about to slaughter indiscriminately and wanted to force the Golden Tiger Legion and the Huyang Guards to stop them, but they suddenly found that the power of heaven and earth around them was returning to chaos. Endless chaotic air currents surrounded them. This chaotic airflow seemed to have consciousness, binding and squeezing them. No. These 3 eternal true gods each have their own strengths, and their strength is no less than that of Black Domo. If they can make enough contributions, they will hopefully be granted mechanical secret treasures by the Marquis. It is easy to gain merit in an enemy city, it just requires taking risks. If you take risks too many times, you may die. Puff puff puff. Under the restraint and compression of the terrifying chaotic airflow, the 3 top eternal true gods shattered in terror. Luo Feng, who was standing in front of the temple gate, frowned slightly. Of these 3 eternal true gods, I controlled the chaos and only strangled 2 true god hearts. The other eternal true god does not have a true god heart in his body. Luo Feng knew very well that some eternal true gods possessed a special source of laws, or had a special cultivation heritage which gave them some secret methods to save their lives. The life-saving secret method of the Duandongha lineage, Immortal River, is even more powerful. However, Luo Feng, who has a perfect divine body, does not need this kind of secret method. It's a pity that I can't eradicate all the evil and only kill 2. Luo Feng's eyes swept across Yuqiani in the air and the other suppressed eternal thunder god. Lord Luoha. There was a fighting spirit in Yuqiani's eyes. She could not be scared by the domain alone. This video will end here.